Hi there. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. Happy after 4th. Today's July 5th. So I think a lot of people had the day off. It's fun when the 4th happens on a weekend. You get a nice long weekend. What'd you do to celebrate? So I'm here to do the reading for Tuesday, July 6th. I was around this weekend. I was just doing other stuff. I don't remember what I did. Hang out with some friends. Ooh. It was cool. But I haven't really done like things in a while, so it was also weird. How does that resonate with anybody else? You know, getting back together, doing social things with people who are outside our bubbles now. The bubbles that we created during the pandemic. Not comfortable. Yeah. Kind of feel like you need to be the Queen of Swords. Very discerning, I think, about how we spend our time. Very discerning. The Queen of Swords is the no BS. And how to transform your logic, your thoughts, into wonderful endeavors and change the way your thoughts, the way you use your thoughts. Using your thoughts with power, using them on a higher vibration. So when we get together in these groups that are not our normie norms, we kind of have to use some of our parts of our brain that we haven't used for a while. I'm having trouble doing that. That's what it is. Does that resonate with you? Anyway, so we're going to do the reading for July 6th, Tuesday, July 6th, 2021. This is the Crystal Visions deck. I've also got the Black Cat Tarot here. I used this for a reading I did earlier, so I'm going to, we'll keep rocking and rolling it. The Black Cat Tarot is a major arcana deck only. And Erin, my buddy Erin, I owe you another deck of those. Just you wait till your birthday, okay? Surprise! Not. Shout out to my homie Erin. Love you, girl. So what is the reading for tomorrow? Move Erin's energy out, move my energy out, and any other energies that are not really part of this reading. This is a general reading for all star zodiac signs. General reading for Tuesday, July 6th, 2021. What are the best energies that we can work? Well, what are the energies and how can we work with them in the best way possible? How can we be aware of them and how can we use them as ways to, strengthen our way of being, learn lessons, have fun with the day, be in the game, be in the game. So yes to the universe. What do we have here? Ah, the Hanged Man. There's the Hanged Man. How can we work with that? Hanged Man is generally an energy of having to wait something out, a wait and see. I know, more of that. It's okay. It's a card of Pisces. I think I've described before that in the major arcana, I think, yeah, when it came up, the Hierophant came up last week. It's the 5th card in the major arcana, corresponding to the 5th month. That's a general way of looking at it. So this is the 12th card. And although the 12th month would technically be Sagittarius and Capricorn, it's not. It's actually Pisces. This one in particular relates to the 12th house in the zodiac sign. And the Hanged Man can relate to being hung up spiritually, being set aside for a minute to sit down and reflect on what's going on. Reflect on, there's some things that have happened. I sometimes will think of it as the card of like self-inventory, card of reflection, getting to the place where we can perhaps see, if we don't know the consequences of actions that we've taken, it's that opportunity to sit and reflect on that and then come back around and have either more conversation, make amends. That would be the energy that you would use coming out of that kind of card. Next card, King of Cups. King of Cups. King of Cups is a card of Scorpio. It can also be viewed as the card of Aquarius, water bearer. Aquarius isn't a water sign though, despite all the aqua and the water bearing thing. It's actually an air sign. And it is a king, so a king is very discerning, right? A King of Cups would be someone who's very discerning about their how to work with their emotions, how to channel those emotions in spirituality. Emotions don't necessarily equate to spirituality, but generally your emotions are ways that your spirit is trying to speak to you. Your soul is trying to speak to you. That's your spirit, your soul, right? We all have a soul. That inner vibe, that inner voice, the quiet inner voice. So yeah, getting quiet. Although the Hanged Man is not the hermit, it has that hermit-esque kind of quality in terms of reflection. And really, at this point, you know, it's kind of like if you haven't done your work at the hermit, the ninth card of the major arcana, you might have to have some hangman time, some hang time. But out of the Hanged Man energy, we come into the King of Cups. So out of that reflection, that really, you know, really taking stock of something that's gone down. You know, this person has clearly come along a path, and I see a lot of mushrooms. These mushrooms on the trees are very are attracting my eye. Mushrooms are a fungus, so something might be not so savory. But mushrooms also have health benefits, as we know. Some mushrooms. So what's the other energy we have to work with for tomorrow, Tuesday, 2021? Tuesday, 2021. Hi, Vesper. Here with all the cats. King of Cups is also a card of Piscean energy as well, being a water sign. Card of Cancer, you know, any of the water signs. But generally Scorpio, excuse me. Scorpio and Aquarius are fixed signs in the water and air sign zodiac, respectively. So this is an energy of being fixed, of being in control, of being that like quintessential energy of, in the Aquarians, like I said, discerning, being able to serve others well as be served, and knowing how to use that energy wisely and not just get too embroiled in things. Scorpio's the same way, great at creating, you know, Scorpio signs is boundaries, knows how to utilize water to transform things into and bring things on, you know, help things flow, move things from one kind of energy to another, change things, ruled by Pluto, transformative energy. Oh, here we go. And it's also a death energy. Nine of Pentacles is the final card. All right, so those are the three cards we have with the moon at the bottom of the deck. The moon card. And the Three of Cups, card of celebration. All right, so let's take a look. So let's angle the camera down so we can see the cards. All right, so the Hangman came out first. And this is a card, again, of deep reflection, of being actually asked to kind of take a break. Literally, if you want to think about it as having, you're kind of going into spiritual jail, if you will, with this. And there is a kind of feeling of that, like he's in some kind of a tunnel that's being created by these trees, or is, the trees would almost be a very gentle way of being, behind bars, if you will. And the fungus is growing there. So I know these trees have been growing for some time, and there's a little bit of stagnancy involved in this. He's got his hands over his eyes. And so that, sometimes the hangman will be depicted with his legs in the number 4 shape. And this one is, he's got his arms in that kind of number 4 shape. The number 4 isn't, and so the number 4 would be Aquarian energy as well. So Aquarius is coming up really a lot in this. It just keeps coming up for me. So Aquarius, if there's any Aquarians, for anybody who's watching this, or Aquarian energy is coming up really, really strongly, that might be part of what we're still dealing with the square from Mars to Saturn and then Uranus last week. So some of this residual energy is probably moving and I said this last week. We're still dealing with that energy, especially going through the middle of this, continuing through the middle of this week. So so Uranus, although it's in the sign of Taurus right now, is the ruler of Aquarius, and that Mars squaring Uranus happened over the weekend. So you might be dealing with some of that fallout a little bit, and I don't doubt that. Mars squaring Uranus is the sign of our action. It's, it's the male principle. It's the, the expression of ourselves in the world, whatever that might mean for you, in relationship, in work, anything we do in the world that's in an action. And so some of those actions that were taken over the weekend, or maybe we're thinking about taking those actions still, some of that energy is still around. Like I said, that number 4, Aquarian energy, is coming up really, really strongly for me today through this reading. And then Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius right now. And Saturn is the former ruler of Aquarius. The current ruler, is being when Uranus was discovered, then it was understood and known, and is now known as the ruler of Aquarius. So all of that energy has been really drawn forward, and it's a revolutionary kind of energy as well. It involves our networks, our friends. It involves, and it is the vibration that we're putting out, the thoughts that we're putting out. Because it's an air sign, it's definitely about thought processes. It is a fixed energy. So again, it is the kind of essential energy of, it's that quintessential energy of how we utilize our thoughts to be innovative. Okay, and to innovate for ourselves, our own personal lives, as well as within, and how we speak to ourselves. And we also still have Mercury in Gemini. Will be moving out of there, but Mercury is like the lower octave version of Uranus and Aquarius. And so, this would be thought processes about how we and then, how we talk to ourselves is then reflected in how we receive the world and how we behave in the world. And, and then that higher octave and that higher vibe, Aquarius is all about vibration and about sound. So, those, and that's why you see those like waves. They're not water waves, they're sound waves, although Aquarius is the water bearer. So, sound goes, can be muffled in water. But, think about Aquarius, like the water bearer, it's bringing, something, it's bringing a little something to everybody. And just like sound, like travels through, you can even see, sound travel through water if you do that little experiment that we all did in like elementary school. When you bang the chimes and, it ends up, creating this, you can see the ripples through the fluid. So, water is coming up really, really strongly too. So, we have to remain, although one of the the detrimental aspects, just like in any sign of Aquarius, is that we can get stagnant in our thoughts, and it is a fixed sign. We can literally get frozen. So think about, those waves going through water becoming frozen. And so, some of the stagnancy that I'm picking up from this, he's maybe been hanging here a little too long, and he looks like he's just about done in, to be very honest with you. And so, but in this reflection, in this time to like think about, and I see it has how he has his hand over his forehead. This is his changing his thoughts, and I almost see him as giving out a vibe like woo woo woo. Some of this light through this tunnelish sort of woodsy place that this individual is, where this individual is hanging. But he's got his hand over his head. It's almost he's got a headache, and he needs to get out of his thoughts and become this more King of Cups sort of energy. And again, this is the combining our ability to maintain our boundaries, create and use our and channel, through like boundary making, use our emotions and channel them into being creative and to being passionate and to being able to channel our emotions into a way that serves us and the people around us really, really well. The King of Cups is someone who is stable in his emotions. He's not, this guy does not look like he's going to get rocked, but he's very kindly looking. He doesn't look, he doesn't have this kind of fierce visage, visage. I think that's how it's pronounced. I sound so bougie. But yeah, he's sitting here. He's got his scepter, his trident right there in the water. He's got his cup, and he looks inviting. He looks like he's, very happy to be in his position, but he's also happy to have somebody come down and hang out on the lily pads and chit chat with him as well. And he's strong enough to not get bowled over by anything he hears or anything he feels. And he's going to be able to turn that into something, transform it into something really of use. And this is where the Nine of Pentacles energy comes in. So the Nine of Pentacles, this is somebody who is also very much, has worked her way up through the material, in a material way, through, be it career, anything that has to do with the world, through education, through her work, through her relationships on the plane, being able to work with her resources very wisely and her emotions. She's in control. She's, no tiger is going to sit there and let you pet it if you're a wreck, if you don't have your act together. Right? So, this person looks very at home, and I love how the water is still coming into the picture here through the fountain of the green man where this tiger is laying down. The pentacles are coming to her at this point. She's done all of the work that she needs to do. She's reached the top of her game, and she's well dressed, but not overly dressed. She's really just quite, she's to the nines, and there's nothing that this gal can't do. She's really got full mastery over her position, and although she's not in, at king status, she's clearly not out of control of her situation whatsoever. The birds are at her call, and they're bringing her things. I see this one's coming in with a little something or another in its beak. She's got this beautiful peacock. All the beauties and the wonders of life are right there at her fingertips, literally. So, we're coming out of this kind of energy of the hangman, where, like I said, something has happened where we, coming out of that Uranus squaring Saturn, Mars squaring Uranus and Saturn energy of last week, and something is still there that we're, considering, but by mastering our emotions over it and using and coming, and whatever has come up, whatever, if we can just work with that creatively, work with it fluidly, and still be able to kind of, be back and forth with things and continue to massage the situation, even though there isn't a tremendous amount of clarity. And the hangman energy does show that things aren't going to come to, any kind of real clarity anytime soon. But by being in this King of Cups position, being in charge of our emotions really, really well, we don't get tripped up egoically. and expect things to be, to be revealed immediately. And then that Nine of Pentacles, she's also, she's not at the, she's feeling good about where you feel good about where the situation has arrived, no matter what that might be, through your job, through wherever things are with your educational standpoint, health-wise, you're looking at yourself. The Pentacles is also a suit of health. So if you, you've got some things going on with you health-wise, maybe things are not quite where you want them, but, things are actually pretty good, and you're working really well with the things that are at hand. And you're going to continue to do that. Now, we do have a new moon coming up at the end of the month in the sign of Cancer. So I see, this is stuff that's coming up throughout the course of the week where, we can celebrate our family ties and enjoy ourselves. But again, Knight of Pentacles is here to show that, again, slow transformation coming in. Nothing, this is nothing this is going to take a minute for things. And of course, we still have the Death card and the Hierophant showing up as well. So the Moon card coming in is, I think we're starting to feel this energy. And, for those of you who have watched my readings before, that I tend to, this energy comes in a little sooner for me than the norm. All right, let me pull from the Black Cat Tarot. I'm going to, this is actually, like I said, a major arcana deck only. That's why there's only a few cards compared to the 74 of the regular tarot deck, which include major and minor arcana. But this is the Black Cat Tarot. It only has the 21 cards of the major arcana. So we'll pull one from this deck as a final commentary on Tuesday, and this reading for Tuesday, July 6th, 2021. What do we have? What do we have from the Black Cats? The Star card. You know what? I felt this energy coming in. I felt this energy coming in, partly because when I was talking about the Hanged Man, the next card so the Hanged Man is number 12, and then the next card would be the Death card. So I felt this energy coming in even when I was talking about it. Remember I was talking about the number 12 and how it related to Pisces. Well, the Death card is there at the bottom of the deck as well. I felt that energy coming up again. But knowing that the next energy, actually, it wasn't even, I'm sorry, I was thinking about the Tower too, which came up, I think, in the reading a couple of days ago. The Star card is the card that follows the Tower card in the major arcana. And the Star card is about, wishes, about, it is the card, and it is the card of Aquarius, actually, which is, although this is the 17th. I forget why this is, I'll have to look that up, why it's also considered the star of, oh, I know why, because in the traditional tarot, there's a woman balancing, she's pouring water from one, and it's different from Temperance, where she's pouring fire and water. In this one, in the Star card, there's a woman normally nude, pouring water with one foot on land, 1 foot in the water, and she's pouring water from one vessel to another. Now, we don't really have that so much depicted in this particular card. This is a pretty spare deck. But, the stars are there, and part of that star is being, you're being the star wherever you are. And, that comes in here with the, and so that kind of water thing is still coming into play. What's the vibration that you're sending out? Again, that Aquarian vibe. Star card is a card of Aquarius. What is the vibe that you're sending out? Can you, can we also, the other thing that is coming up strongly is the card of, the Aquarians are known for being detached. And maybe too much so from their emotions. But remember that, the King of Cups is considered a card of Aquarius in its highest form. And an Aquarian that is, that Aquarian energy that is connected to their emotions is just the best. That's somebody who is working on a high vibrational level, who is able to let the emotions and that vibration of emotion pass through them, and they can feel them, but then they move them out of them, and what remains is something that they can create something of beauty with and to share, and so in that sharing, there's that water bearing. You're bringing some kind of sustenance, some kind of nourishment, some kind of life to each and every person, and you're letting those vibrations, that water that you're giving connecting to everybody, create, its own, have be a life force that touches each and every person around you. And in that, you're in this King of Cups version, you are a star. Right? You're reaching for the stars, you're reaching for ascension, and you're reaching for your highest version of yourself when you're behaving in that fashion. So the star card is here, and those are our hopes, our wishes, our dreams, our highest aspirations. I don't know a person on this planet. You know what? I don't know everybody on this planet, so it's such a weird thing to say. I'm thinking of it, but in reality, there. My belief is that everybody is trying to be their highest and best self all the time. And we achieve that to varying degrees as we move through the course of a day. And the more we try to do it in a higher vibration with that higher perspective, choose that higher road and make our vibe good and of love, of good sounds, of sharing, that is the basis of everybody's heart. And although their actions may not seem so, unconsciously, maybe we are behaving unconsciously in ways that we don't intend, but I think that the intention behind the things that people always want to do is something good. And instead of digging ourselves deeper and continuing to end up in this hanged man energy, we can shoot for the stars and reach for something higher and better for ourselves. And I think we should try to also see, I think it's more important when we see people as stars, that means that we're already seeing ourselves as stars. So I'm going to leave it at that. I love you. And I enjoyed this reading. I hope you did too. Like, share, subscribe. If you want your own private reading, email me at lisa.loring@gmail.com. Venmo and PayPal donation info will be in the description that I leave. And if you have any comments, definitely do that. And this will be on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So you can, whatever platform is your favorite. All right. Have a great day.